Hello everyone and welcome back to the Contention server in DCS World, and welcome back to the JF17 Jeff. So having been reminded how to actually use this thing by Judas in my recent test livestream, I decided to take it out as flying out alongside Flamehaze, who is also very much new to the Jeff, and we just decided to see what we could do on Contention. And it proved to be a fairly painful experience. We died a lot, but we did have some fun, did learn some things along the way, so I thought I'd share this one with all of you. So I was flying with Flamehaze, as I said. Unfortunately, both of us were really focusing on trying to remember how to fly the things, so we weren't talking all that much. And so would have made a pretty dull video, so I'm treating this as a docs debrief here to talk through what I was thinking at the time and talk through the various mistakes that I'm making, because there were quite a few. To begin with here, I didn't have my data link actually set up correctly. I forgot you have to change it from NE- to NES mode to actually get it to function. And so, re-entering that here, I've been doing this entire initial flight without data link, just using RWR contacts. Now that does come through, and so I all of a sudden have data link, just in time to get an RWR alert there that I have just been launched on by an F-18. Now what I'm trying to do here is pull around and hide in the hills. Unfortunately, this area of the hills isn't as full of valleys as I would really like it to be. The valleys are really shallow, and that means even though I'm kind of doing my best to hug the ground here, the F-18 is still maintaining lock. Do notice at this point that the AI's missile warning system that you get in this is really calm for a missile warning alert. But all the same, just about to make it into a valley, look over to the side as the missile slams into my side. Fortunately, that's the first kill of me by TFE Anvil there. It definitely won't be the last. So this is the next run. Now I've got working data links, so I have a little bit of an easier job finding where the enemies are. Fortunately, have not actually turned on my radar at this point. I've made a mistake there. Do get the lock there. These PL5s have excellent ability to lock head-on at range. Unfortunately, I don't realise that tiny little smoke plume there is an AIM-9M launch. I'm used to much bigger smoke plumes, and so don't take any evasive action and get splashed. I am not very used to expecting these smokeless missiles, and so definitely do need to bear that in mind and work that out. Keep that in mind in future. So next one, take off again. Heading back out. Data link on this time, so do get a nice little contact there that there is a target nearby that I start turning and heading for. Fortunately, as you may see, even though I've got my radar out of standby mode now, I still do have it on silent, which means that it's not actually doing anything. Realise that I need to ditch my tanks. Unfortunately, absolutely mess up here. Forget which tanks I'm supposed to ditch. Need to be wings level to ditch them, and get shot down. I don't know any quick way to ditch the tanks and go on to a pure air-to-air mode, and that does cost me quite a lot here. So if you do know a way to quickly ditch the tanks in the Jeff, please do let me know. The way here, what I've decided to do is have a little go at doing some seeds. So I've equipped 10 of the HARM missiles, wait until I'm being locked, fire them all off in passive mode, so they are just locking onto the first target they decide to. And then try and go evasive here, since I have got 2 Hawk missiles launched at me. Sticking low level here. Here I'm a little more confident that I'll be able to make it to this ridgeline and break the lock with the ground radar there before these missiles actually hit home, if they're even still in range with me dragging them. So do make it out, make it alive. Unfortunately, not one of the 4 missiles I launched hit the target there. Definitely need to get some practice into actually being able to use those effectively. Does seem like a really good thing. You still get 4 of those with still having your Fox 2s. It's a pretty good loadout there for the Jeff. A few minutes later though, I am head-on engaging this F-18, learn from before and do fire my missile as soon as I get the tone there, and immediately go defensive, expecting that a missile will be launched on me at any point. And certainly the F-18 that I've come up against time and time again on this run definitely knows what he's doing. He fires missiles in range. He's very good at waiting till he's close enough and firing off sneaky Fox 2s. So I can't rely on my RWR. Keeping an eye on data link there. Do see him. And get smacked by a missile. Unfortunately, he managed to close the distance and get that shot off. So yeah, not been doing the best so far. Do get back off the ground here. Have finally managed to work out how to get the radar to actually function, and so managed to lock up this F-18 here. He is heading straight towards a friendly contact who I believe is actually Flame Haze here. Flame Haze is in the area and is being engaged. Unfortunately, as I'm just lining up, I do take a hit. Got no idea where that came from. Do you see on the RWR that there is ground radar lock there? So I think I just happened to overfly a FARP and get hit by a Vulcan or something similar. You can see on the left hand MFCD that I have actually got one of my missiles severely damaged. Here it is now failed, and that will come back to be a little bit of a problem a little bit later in this flight. By the way, do have nice tone on this guy. Decide that he's probably close enough that I can have a go at firing this missile just in case he does turn towards me. He doesn't, he turns away at this point. Now I'm just in a tail chase with this guy. That other contact there on my radar, or not radar display, my EWR display on the left-hand side, right-hand side, is Flame chasing this guy as well. This time do take this opportunity, since this guy is cold, to ditch my tanks properly, flip onto air-to-air configuration mode to give me a little bit more flexibility there. Definitely helps to do that in advance of getting into combat. Unfortunately, the Jeff doesn't have the best amount of fuel once the tanks are out, so do kind of need the tanks and kind of need to hang on to them for as long as possible. But do need to get better about ditching them before I get into issues. Now, I'm getting really close to Alcacer here, but not getting locked by any ground radar, so not too worried. Am being locked by ground AAA, but don't seem to be being engaged by it. So just kind of ignore that for now. Bypass, trying to chase this F-18. Unfortunately, this F-18 very much just wants to run away at this point, and there's not too much I can do. I do have another hostile coming in, this F-15 here, and so decide that, well, this is the bigger threat, turn towards this one. I did temporarily disable my radar during that chase, just hoping that the F-18 would turn back around, so I have to re-enable it to get the F-15 here locked up. do nicely get him locked up here. Unfortunately, at this point we're about to merge, and I still had the faulty missile selected, so when I try to fire I didn't get anything, or I didn't even get tone. Now once again here, still got that wrong missile selected. Does get tone but won't fire. Press the wrong weapon change button. Finally get it, selected one of the active ones. Fire off a missile. And it actually manages to hit. There we go. Managed to actually get a kill. So I was really, really happy with that. Finally managed to get a kill in the Jeff, feeling really happy. Unfortunately for me, that F-18 has just turned around and is heading straight back in now. So turning around for him, trying to get the lock. Again there, I do see that puff. Think that, yep, that's definitely it. But once again, the missile is defaulted to the faulty missile, and while I'm messing around with that to try and send a Fox 2 his way, his one closes the distance and smacks me. So yeah, not the most successful outing, but I did manage to pick up my first Jeff kill, so I will take that. It's a very interesting plane, still very much learning all of its quirks, but having a lot of fun while learning. And so we'll definitely be featuring this more on the channel as I'm trying to get used to this thing. And I hope you are all enjoying watching me try and fail there. Anyway, I hope to catch you in a future video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.